And I'm currently on the 4th floor of the Cambridge Theatre in the dressing room of the lovely Melissa Dunlop. Nice to meet you.
And you.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. Now, you're in one of the world's biggest musicals here in the West End. It must be a great thrill for you, but being in Fame must be kind of ironic because it's almost parodying every actress's life, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just remembering how you were at college and your own training and trying to... it's like going back to high school over again.
So is Fame the musical like Fame in real life?
Yeah, just that it's done for the stage, so it's a tiny bit probably more precocious than they really are, but the stage schools are great fun, but it's that sort of feeling of, yeah.
Fame's interesting, isn't it? Because it's self-belief and knowing that you can make it, because I'm sure in your career you've had people tell you, oh, you won't make it, and it's having that belief, and that's what the show's about, isn't it? Believing in yourself and making your dream happen. Definitely,
and I think that's relevant for everybody, not just for performers, especially in this day and age, to believe in yourself and to believe in your dreams and go on and do them, and it's that belief rather than the actual achievement that's important.
Now, you've got to do everything in this show. You've got to dance, you've got to sing, you've got to act. Multi-skilling at its best, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's but it keeps the boredom at bay when you're doing 8 shows a week. So, you've got little dance moves you can practice and change, and vocals to play around with, so it keeps the interest there.
How big's the cast?
We've got 8 ensemble, and then we've got 4 musicians, I think, 4 actors, and about 5 or 6 lead dancers, so quite big. How much is that? I've forgotten my maths skills.
I was never very good at maths, to be truthful with you, but it's a lot, basically, isn't it?
I think about 25.
It's interesting. I mean, you've done loads of stuff in your career, but last night I went to see Art, which has got 3 people on stage, and then this has got loads of people. I mean, which do you enjoy doing, being in a big cast or a small cast?
Well, at least if you don't get on with a few people, you've got more choice in a big cast. So, to be honest, I haven't ever done a 3-hander or a smaller. I think the smallest this is probably quite a small cast for me. I haven't really worked with small casts, so I'm happy working with large casts.
Now, this is about Fame. You're in Fame. You're here in the West End. It doesn't get any bigger than this. How did it all start for you, though? When did the dream begin?
I sort of really didn't have a choice. I did my first TV commercial at 6 months. And
how did you get that?
Well, my sister was at stage school, and she's 10 years older than me, and they wanted a baby for I think it was a Pampers commercial, and there I was the right age and the right look, and got my first commercial. So I just always knew that I wanted to do this, and in fact I did my A-levels while I was working full-time in the theatre at the same time. So
how did you balance the two?
I got up for school in the morning, stayed there until 4 o'clock, caught the train into work, did the show, and went home straight to bed. I was very exhausted, but it was a good life experience, good training.
Have you always wanted it and had the dream and never thought of doing anything else? Is there anything else you could do or would want to do?
Yeah, I always thought I wanted to be a psychiatrist, but I think going into the theatre is kind of the same thing. But I sort of knew that I could live without the whole education thing, but I couldn't live without the music and without the acting. So I didn't really want to leave both, but I had to do one or the other. So.
Now, you were telling me earlier that you're in one of my favourite shows, Starlight Express, which is an amazing musical. It's done on roller skates, and you played Pearl, one of the best roles in the musical. What was that like?
Oh, it was the most fantastic time ever. I met my husband there, and it's just so much, because it's so demanding physically. The cast becomes a really tight cast, and physically it brings you up, because you're also fit, and just I love it. On skates as well, there's an extra dimension to it.
I have to ask, did you ever fall over? Because I mean, you're going at high speed. There's literally an arena around the edge of the auditorium where you go skating round. Did you ever fall over?
Many times, yes. I tried to make it look elegant, but I'm not sure that I always did. But it kind of comes like part of the parcel. But that adds to the entertainment as well, and holding up the new ones when they join as well.
And they've got rid of it now in the West End, haven't they? Why did they do that?
I I think Andrew Lloyd Webber had a few regrets after he did decide to take it off. I think they're thinking about a world tour, but obviously it's so hard to tour. I think basically he needed the theatre. He wanted to put on a new show. He needed a big theatre, and it had been going for 17, 18 years, and he wanted to do something fresh just as a creative person and stop it before it did get tired. But I think it's a real shame.
Tell us a bit about your character.
If anyone's seen the TV series, it's sort of based on the character of Doris. So she's very quirky and from Brooklyn. She's like comedian, and she falls crazily in love with this famous actor who's come to the school to learn how to be a real actor. And so she's a bit of the fun element, but she's got a really lovely heart, and he does fall in love with her at the end. I like that. She gets a guy.
And we should say Fame is a really funny musical, isn't it? There's lots of funny bits in it, but equally there's a lot of really sad bits that it kind of mix of emotions, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's illustrated at the end. We have one of the quite comical characters, Shlomo, comes on at the end in his gown, and he's been like funny throughout the whole show, and then and he obviously announces Carmen, one of the other lead characters, death, and just standing there, and then it's all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, this is, which I think is nice. It shows both elements of the whole show.
One of the things in the show is the competitiveness of show business and the theatre. Is it really like that? Is it that bad? Are you all looking to, I don't want to give him any help because he might get my next job? Is it kind of like that?
No, I don't think that it is really. I think we would definitely help each other out. We might be a little bit annoyed if it turned out they got the job and you'd help them in the end, but I don't think it would stop you helping them in the first place, because at the end of the day we work together 24/7 and spend 6 days a week together, and it's just if there was too much, you just have to let it go, really. At the end of the day, the best person for the job gets the job. So,
and I suppose you are a team, really. If you didn't like a lot of the people you're working with, it'd be a very miserable existence, wouldn't it?
No, definitely. Yeah, it's really good to get on with your cast and members and bonds, especially when you've got to kiss ones like
yes.
I do.
How do you do that? I mean, you're a married lady. How do you cope with this kissing business and romance on stage? Does your husband mind?
I think he'd choose me not to if he could, but it's all part of the fun of it, really. It's all pretense, and I suppose it's like kissing without the trouble.
Without the mortgage.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for talking to us today. Where do you go from here then? Fame, how long are you here for? What's your contract?
I'm here until the end of September, and I'll just see what life takes me there. That's the business.
Do you get bored? I mean, do you aspire to do new musicals? Because it must get a bit tedious after a while.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do want to go on and do different things, play different characters. It was great to do this character for me because it's a comedy part, and normally I'm, the romantic heroine. So yeah, this has been really different for me. But of course, yeah, I want to go on and do more musicals, new musicals, and all the old specials as well.
If you could do any musical, which one would it be?
Oh, that's a real tough one. I did Les Miserables as a child. I was one of the very early young Cosettes and did the stage-by-stage recording, and I would like to go back into the musical now and just do it for that whole prestige sense of going back to where my roots are.
It's a great show, isn't it?
Yeah, love it. Very good show.
Well, that's your lot from me, Alex Belfield, live at Fame the Musical today here at the Cambridge Theatre in the West End. I'll be back next Friday with the second of my 10 reports live from the musicals, giving you a chance to win tickets and talking to the stars of the West End. Melissa Dunlop, thank you for allowing us here at Fame today, and I'll talk to you soon.